Yes, 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 we're here. And we are delighted once again to be able to help assist you with our information from our perspective, to be able to give you great advancements in understanding concepts and perspectives that normally a 3D mindset would struggle to see the intricate layers of experiences from a metaphysical perspective, to be able to understand the full range of significances and purposes. There is many situations that you get presented with that from a 3D perspective could seem very horrible and sad and emotionally heart-wrenching. But from our perspective, that is the unique experiences that some souls, all souls who get to experience them, have chosen. We say when we are from this perspective in our dimension and we choose to have lifetimes on 3D planets, there is a smorgasbord of experiences we want to have. We could have simulations to be able to understand the concepts of it and how you have reactions and you react and have reactions to certain events. But it is about the journey of experiencing it for one's soul's self that is the novelty. It is the difference between watching someone on a roller coaster versus being on that roller coaster. You're seeing it in real time, the person watching the roller coaster and the person on the roller coaster. But it's a different perspective, different feelings, different thoughts, different range of emotions. One can only imagine and assume how one would feel, while the other one is literally experiencing all the range of feelings. You can guess and project and imagine those range of feelings yourself, but it's more than just the feelings. It's the physical experiences as well. It is the wind blowing through your face, through your hair, through your fingers. It is the rush. It is the thrust and power of the roller coaster that is out of your control. There is much more to be said than just the feelings. And so this is the same as human experiences on planet Earth, as well as other 3D planets. It's the physical experiences as well as the emotional experiences. We see, however, when humans are not honest with themselves, with their range of emotions, they are not able to fully acknowledge that a complete experience. The senses could be so overwhelmed with everything that is going on with their body and their mind. It may be too hard to articulate the full experience. You may just have the experience and may not be able to understand all of the levels and layers and lessons that that experience gave thee. And it may be until you have your own personal life review that you can reflect back from a higher dimension, a higher position, a higher density, to be able to reflect back on that experience, to then learn from the lessons, gain insight, gain wisdom and perspective from that vantage point. We wanted to share with the vehicle a delightful regression that one of her clients recently had about being that beautiful blue flower. And that beautiful blue flower had consciousness that it was very easy and pleasant to be that beautiful flower, knowing that that is all it needed to do, all it needed to be. It was happy to just be. It was. And it knew that just being there was perfect, was absolutely meant to be doing that. And this gave the soul great joy and peace. It was a pleasant experience to know that everything it was doing and everything it was being was exactly what it wanted to be and do. And this is what we say is the core of what we would like many to be able to do and be. You need your core to be in that balance and neutral and trusting you are exactly what you're supposed to be. You are exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And so we say it could be more engaging and enriching when you have that core value of trust, that you are exactly who you are supposed to be. And then allow yourself to have the experiences, the roller coaster emotions, the physical roller coasters as well, for you. It is centering one's self first, having ultimate faith and trust. You are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. And while you're experiencing that roller coaster, you also are the person watching that roller coaster at the same time. It is all connected. You're observing and experiencing every aspect of it. Because there is no such thing as what you would call time, you are watching yourself on the roller coaster as well as feeling the roller coaster. It is marvelous. It is so engaging to be able to reflect on one's life. And this is why you want to choose many different scenarios, many different dramatic experiences, all for the richness and the experiences of being able to have all perspectives on each individual physical interaction event. It's fantastic and enjoyable. While it can be very challenging and tough, as you've forgotten why you wanted to put yourself on that roller coaster in the first place. And what we want to say about that lifetime as a flower, which was so beautiful and unique from your perspective of listening to that regression, was that flower knew that it was going to end its life. It was not a forever lifetime, and it was grateful to just be. We wanting to keep saying is. That flower is on purpose. That flower was on point. It is significant, that lifetime to have for that person, and potentially all options when you choose lifetimes could have that. There is no lifetimes that you're not allowed to explore. You are able to explore all lifetimes and have physical experiences if you choose. It's not an accident people have certain life contracts and life experiences. It's all well pre-organized and planned. It is like going to an amusement park with that roller coaster, knowing you've paid for that ticket, you have intentions to experience all of the attractions and rides. There may be some ones that are your favorites, and so you repeat them because you just love all the differences of it. And while you could be on a roller coaster, you may only look to the left, and you're only experiencing that roller coaster ride looking to the left and seeing all the things and all of the sights from the left view. And so you may want to do the complete roller coaster event again, just looking to the right. And you're just watching everything from the right of the angle. You may also want to be at the front of the roller coaster, or at the middle, or at the back. It's the same roller coaster ride, and we could say Earth is that roller coaster, but you can put yourself in different positions to be able to experience different leverage points for very varying purposeful reasons. And we know some of you who are very advanced souls, you've had so many experiences, you have been profound leaders, you have been responsible for much and many things. Times you want to be here, to be that flower, to just be, to know that everything you're doing is purposeful. You don't want the responsibilities and the pressure of empowering the world, but you just being here is upliftment. You just being here is holding frequency vibrations at a positive scale, because you're not worried about yourself. You're not doubting yourself. You're not trying to prune yourself. You're not trying to edit yourself. You're comfortable. You're also not trying to grandeur yourself. You're not trying to be the most attention-seeking flower in the field. You're comfortable being who you are, and what you is significant. And so having the inner peace and balance to know thyself and to know your role and place in this world is significant. But we can see many getting lost in distractions and assuming that just having that grace and inner peace is not enough. And they have got lack of security within themselves, so they want to project out to get more attention and reassurance that they are valuable, they are significant, and they are purposeful. The vehicle has seen, and we have told her many times, the agendas of people who want sessions with her and how they are entitled to get certain information. This has been a learning curve for the vehicle to see all of the agendas that people have, their true integrity and intentions behind their words. She has been training hard to see all of their energy beyond their words. We have seen many people who are supposed to grow from their own sessions and listening to the information that we've been sharing to advance themselves in a more mature, balanced perspective and state. And they have chosen to go away from that. And we also see that there are people that have got such great insecurities trying to belittle our whole collective's information. They are not aware that they are part of another collective that knows that when humanity shifts, they can no longer live on this planet, as this planet is being evacuated and repurposed, refurbished for other experiences. There is so much interactions, and we are wanting the vehicle to know that while it's people's choices to empower themselves and others, that is a reflection on them. Sometimes she worries that she is not doing enough, and we are saying, remind yourself of being that blue flower, because she is purposeful. The other unique thing that flower experienced in that regression was knowing that in the end cycle of being that flower, it had produced seeds, which then had dropped. And then those seeds germinated, and from those seeds produced 10 flowers, 10 identical plants. And that they were learning and growing from that original flower. And we are saying, again, those flowers that are comfortable and healthy to grow and balanced can produce great seeds. And those seeds then take root. And from those 10 plants could then easily produce the ripple out effect of 100. It is significant in these cycles of growth, these cycles of lessons, these cycles of information. These perspectives do have profound ripple out effects. And as more and more people are realizing that they can speak their truth, that they're not responsible for other people's feelings, because they are in that balance and neutral of coming from a pure-hearted place. They're not entitled. They don't have arrogance, ignorance, or ego on their agenda to converse with people. They actually have compassion and come from an unconditionally loving space without judgment It's observations. We're wanting to say that we can see profound ripple effects happening. And it is those, what you would call and label light workers, who are supposed to remember themselves to understand what is happening and the significance of holding a higher frequency vibrations to be able to uplift those who are on this planet, who are addicted to the density, who cannot see light at the end of the tunnel, shall we say. This is a significant time for humanity. And you could also say, as the vehicle was questioning, is it these profound light bearers, these profound souls that come here who can hold massive range of frequencies, who are very significant in the sensitivity of others around them? They are holding density that no longer serves them. So once they fully become honest self, fully notice their own behaviors, reactions, their routines, their blocks and limitations from their mindsets, them honoring all of the range of emotions that they choose to hold on to be able to remember and remind themselves that this is not the only lifetime you get to live. There is infinite amounts of lifetimes that there is ahead. But as you know, with each life cycle, you change the bodies. And we are reminding you all that this is the choice of the soul of this planet. Her life cycle is ending, and you know this, and she is choosing to reincarnate into another planet, and you do know this. And so seeing the significance and the time for this planet and for humanity to not be distracted so much in the way of the world, but to be able to remember the bigger picture, the bigger concepts, the bigger soul experiences, while you are so seriously taking these lives. And it's purposeful for you to focus on that roller coaster. We are saying, remember us watching you on that roller coaster with your gripped hands, feeling nauseous, swearing you'll never do this again, but yet secretly knowing when this high, this rush, this adrenaline fades, you'll want to come back. And it's significant how you will assume when you're in these lives it's too challenging and tough, and it's beyond your scope. It's not possible to love everyone. It's not possible to love yourself. It's not possible to speak your truths. You try to convince yourself all the reasons why you can be of lack, why you can't possibly be bigger souls that you truly are. You want to use excuses of your bodies. You want to use the excuses of you being in a dense planet. You want to use the excuses that you're living with some cactuses or some sleepy rocks who don't see the world as you see it or feel it and perceive it. We are pushing so many people to speak their truth. You're all noticing at some degree your throat, how we're wanting to make you focus on your throat. Some people say, I've got a frog in my throat and it will not budge. And we say, acknowledge that frog. If you will want to acknowledge that frog, we could stop being cutesy and say, you have a cough, you have built up phlegm residue, and we will push that to be in your way each time you don't want to speak your full truth. We know you have often been belittled, dismissed, ignored when you speak your truth, or even what you think is worse, having more interaction with people who are triggered. The truth does not hurt. It is your feelings and choices that make you feel hurt. It is not your responsibility how people feel hurt from hearing the truth. That is merely a suggestion for them to realize that this is an opportunity for them to grow and heal and look at why they are feeling hurt, why they are choosing to feel disempowered with all the range of emotions of density, what is going on for them and why. You're giving them a gift, and while many do not like to be the bearers of triggering others, You all have to be responsible for growth. And so if you're finding this frog in your throat, if you're finding this buildup of mucus phlegm that is trying to get your attention, to make you speak out loud, to clear your throat and to clear your blocks and to clear your limitations, to speak the truth about how you feel and see and observe the world, could feel very depressing, because you see the truth of the world. You see the manipulation, the corruption, the pollution. You see it all. And you don't want to see it. You don't want to feel it. You don't want to speak about it, because you still have this comfortable deniability of, I don't want to talk about it, so therefore it's gone. I will be that ostrich who puts its head in the hole. And I will only speak of things of love and light. And we're saying you have to be able to be honest that everything is going on, to not let it bottom you out, to not let you feel that problems, it's not your problems, it's all the experiences. So focus on moving forward, focus on speaking your truth freely. And when you come from a pure hearted place of love, sharing one's truth is again about delivery. Do not be afraid that you're giving people teachable moments. Do not be afraid to be counted as a voice, to have an opinion. You're allowed to feel and own your emotions. You're allowed to feel and own your opinions. It is about delivery. Are you willing to grow and expand and have a feeling and a thought today about a certain event, and you're looking forward to understanding it more because there must be more to it? When you assume that you know everything of one thing, you are limiting yourself from not seeing and being able to look at all perspectives. There is so much connections and layers and information on everything. You must still be curious about the ways of the world and how it all impacts each other. So grow. It is enjoyable to learn new things. Some of you are afraid to learn new things because it may make you then feel like you were wrong with the information you know now. And that is very interesting. So we want you to ask yourself, why are you afraid to be wrong? Why are you afraid to be able to be in a position where you are just constantly learning and expanding? So your pride with knowing what you think you know now, being everything and all of, is a limited perspective. There is so much that is changing. There is constant things changing and growing and expanding. And we see many people who have old information about the shift stuck with that perspective that that is the absolute way. You know that it was supposed to be here on this planet, that this vehicle was going to be able to empower herself and uplift herself into a fifth dimension on this planet, and that was the soul of Gaia, which was expanding out. And you know that her foundations of moving out of the density of 3D was not possible on this vehicle because of the density, which was what you could say chains for her. She couldn't organically raise her own personal frequency because there was so much density on the skin of the surface and within. And it wasn't because of her own doing. It was because of what we could say the plague of density from those who did not know what the energy fields and focus was doing. It's interesting what we're showing the vehicle. It is like a body being riddled with scars, and they were infected. It's not a nice visual, but you can see the analogy there. She could not heal herself and expand herself and grow with all of this surface problems. But it's beyond even surface, and you know that. And we're encouraging everyone to have their own experiences, to have their own sessions, to understand the messages we're trying to share with you all, to be updated, to understand all perspectives. Because when you learn the higher perspectives, it is healing and releasing, because you often can hold on to 3D assumptions that cause you to loop and hold on to denser emotions that no longer serve you. We say this with love and gratitude for those who are realizing that they are able to be in charge and in control of the range of emotions that your body and mind instantly wants to feel into. You're not supposed to be a void of emotions. You must need them. It is an important sense as well. You have your sight, you have your hearing, you have your smell, you have your touch, and you have those other senses which are part of your emotional senses. Knowing your body, knowing your mindsets, knowing your soul is part of the journey. And when you're more aligned with all of those aspects of self, that is truly when you're quite happy to be you and have trust and faith that all is well and that all is purposeful. We say this with so much love, and we again remind you all to apply the information that we have shared. And also the significance of drinking water is again significant, and we're not saying this for you to dismiss. We are asking you to be more responsible for your vehicles, because we are needing you to be more high frequency vibrations, and this is something that can assist you on your journey. And we say this with love.